sorry. Good evening. I'd like to call the meeting to order, please, with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, everyone. Roll call, Mr. Lumberg.
Vaughn.
Yes.
Bodie. Yes. Comfort.
Yes.
Saxer is absent. Telka.
Yes.
All right. Are there any changes that need to be made to the agenda tonight before we approve that?
Yes, Madam Chair, there is one amendment to the proposed agenda under personnel, item F1, resignation of Marina Michaels to alter the effective date for last day, Thursday, December 19th, 2019.
Thank you. With that, if there are no other changes to the agenda, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as amended, please.
So moved. Second.
There's been a first and a second. All of those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. There are no conflict of interest disclosure or waiver requests tonight. No community input. So that takes us to our next section, general business. Administration reports. Superintendent Larson.
Yes, Madam Chair, just a few things this evening. Legislative breakfast, Wednesday, December 11th, 2019, at the Administration Center Conference Room, 7:30 a.m. Please make plans to attend. BVEA representation will be joining us for our meeting with our District 10 and 25 representatives. The academic calendar, as has been previously reported, is in the process of being created. I would just inform the community that it is consistent and corresponding to our current academic school year calendar. You can expect to see an initial presentation here at our first meeting in January, and then potential adoption or action from the Board of Education at our second meeting, or January 27th. Quick update on land acquisition. As you guys have previously approved, we had 2 purchase agreements that we were working through the land acquisition process. The south side site, that transaction is complete. Deed's been recorded. That is done in totality. The west side site, we had a delay in closing. So now the new set date for closing is the 16th of December. There was a platting item or two that we were working through. I would anticipate that at our next meeting you will see the payment for that land acquisition come through. Unless the platting issue is not solved, then we'll push that out a little further. But at this point in time, closing is set for the 16th of December. Sparta Elementary School construction timeline. Just want everyone to know we're still in that construction planning process. Would tell you that the bids are set to open in early February. Spring of 20 construction begins. We'll be utilizing a boundary line committee to make some decisions or recommendations to the Board of Education in the fall of 20, and then ultimately the fall of 2021 is when that school is set to open. I would note Sparta Elementary School, the name in and of itself, we drew upon that name throughout our bond campaign for location recognition. I would note that we do not, as a school district or you as a board, have a policy regarding facility naming. It is my intent to draft a policy for your review regarding the process that we utilize to name facilities. I'll bring that draft policy to our next meeting. We'll go through our policy adoption process, which is 3 meetings. To review how a process might look, and then ultimately once that policy is adopted, we'll work that process as outlined in that policy for this elementary school. Very likely may be Sparta Elementary School, or the committee that is in charge of bringing forward a recommendation may have a different idea. Just want to inform the board that you can expect to see that at an upcoming Board of Education meeting. Safety committee update. The Brandon Valley School District has a large group of individuals that serve as a safety committee. You have 2 board representatives on that committee. It's relevant to note that at our last safety committee meeting date, we talked about a public service announcement outlining a variety of school safety items to be distributed to our patrons, our public and our parents. That public service announcement was distributed on the 21st of November. Included within that were some messaging or communication on the following topics: transportation safety, winter weather safety, stranger danger, safe gun storage at home, and then also see something, say something. That message was drafted collaboratively by the administrative members of the safety committee. We will be holding an all-staff safety in-service on Friday, January 10th. Relevant to note that the classified staff will have an AM session that will run from approximately 7:45 a.m. To 11 a.m., and then the certified staff will have a PM session, 12:15 to 3:45 p.m. You would, if you look at our academic calendar, you would note that the morning session for our certified staff is workshop, and then the afternoon is ultimately in service. The workshop is mandated by our negotiated agreement. We'll utilize a station approach to that safety in service. The following items are the respective stations included. Carroll Institute will be presenting on trends in teens, social media, substances, those types of things. Stop the Bleed is a nationally recognized program promoted by the Department of Homeland Security. We'll also be providing our staff with information regarding our reunification process, and then BV Health Services will also have an opportunity to present on relevant student health items. Good news reports will be kicking back up here in the new year. January will be the high school, February will be the middle school, March will be the intermediate school, and April will be our elementary. Relevant to note, there is no school Wednesday through February for for Thanksgiving. Friday, December 20th, there is a 2-hour early dismissal to start our winter break. School resumes on Thursday, January 2nd. No school Friday the 10th. No school Monday, January 20th. No school on Friday, February 14th. No school Monday, February 17th. For President's Day. I would certainly entertain any questions the Board of Education has at this time. Otherwise, I would turn it over to Mr. Lundberg.
I just quickly had in your board packet the annual report of per pupil expenditures for the 2018-19 school year. Brandon Valley remained relatively the same as we have been for a number of years. We're ranked 142 out of 149 in expenditure levels. Last year that ranking was 144 out of 149. Our expenditure per pupil went up $74 a kid this year, as opposed to the state went up $65 a kid this year, so we ticked up just a little bit. Still well within our goals and where we attain to be with our per pupil cost expenditures. I would note on peer, that peer went from spending $7,820 a student last year to $7,727 this year. One of the first times that I've seen a school district actually go down in expenditures per pupil. Now that might be that they went up a number of kids or whatever, but bottom line, in this business, we never, ever think that we can go down in our per pupil expenditures. It can happen. So that's all I had to note. Any questions from anybody? Thank you.
Hearing none, thank you very much, Superintendent Larson and Mr. Lundberg, for the reports tonight. There is no board policy, so that takes us to general business items, number 1 and 2. I would entertain a motion to approve those as written, please.
So moved.
Second.
There's been a first and a second. All of those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Personnel, there's items 1 through 5, with 1 being the one that was addended for the effective date of Thursday, 12/19/19. I would entertain a motion to approve those as presented, please.
So moved. Second.
There's been a first and a second. All of those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Communication, there's a Board of Education thank you from a staff member. And that takes us to board reports. Does anyone have a formal board report that they would like to share tonight?
I'm just going to make a brief, a little bit on We met last Thursday, I believe, for safety. And just in a general consensus, we're looking at different things in the transportation area. Nothing public yet to be announced, but we're looking at different tweaks here and there just to make the district run more efficient and maybe be more cost effective. So as it gets closer and closer, as we get things accomplished or finalized, we'll give you an update.
Madam Chair, I forgot something in my SUPS report. May I share?
Yes.
All right. I did want to share, Business Manager Lundberg and I received a note of thank you from the BVEA representation regarding the salary enhancement funds that the Board of Education provided to staff here on November 25th. So from lead negotiator, Mr. Todd Gertis, on behalf of the teachers, I would like to say a big thank you. Staff members are excited and have some extra pep in their step to finish out 2019. Thanks again, and have a great Thanksgiving. So from the BVA, from our staff, thank you so much to the Board of Education for the salary enhancement that was paid here at this most recent pay period.
Thank you. From Alternative Ed, Teach Well is very busy, like very busy. Lots of kids, different programs, tweaks to new programs, making good on older programs. It's busy all the way around. It's hard to describe exactly what's going on. The business manager down there, though, actually likes to get out of his office and is mentoring some kids and different things, and has also made some outcomes that we can actually measure to see where kids are and how they're progressing through different pieces of their education. So it's an exciting time down there. Busy. Anyone else have any other formal board reports? If not, it looks like that takes us to the end of our agenda. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
There's been a first and a second. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Have a very happy Thanksgiving. Drive safe. And I hope we only get 1 inch of snow.